All right,
video's going. 3, 2, 1.
All right.
All right, Jeff. Let's do this thing. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. It is episode 10. We have officially reached double digits.
Let's go.
We are officially going to try to be on schedule.
Starting now.
Starting now. We are going to be on time. We have never been late anymore.
Yep.
As you can tell.
You have no evidence of this.
Yeah, no. It's not like they can look at the dates of the uploads.
That's if you can read.
Whoa. We're not calling out our illiterate fans and me all at the same time. Okay? As you can tell, I am not wearing regular
Julian's
attire.
fitted. I'm here in my bum boy fit.
Yeah. As you can hear in our background, we have our producer, Gus, which will hopefully be here for the summer. He's tried to get in the camera, but he's too short.
Shy.
I am, and shy. I'm wearing 100% authentic llama cotton. No, I'm just kidding. I have no.
It's alpaca wool, though.
I
Right?
have no idea.
Yeah, I was about to say, that shit ain't authentic.
It's from Peru, dog. It's from Peru.
I'm about to say, it is from the source. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah,
authentic.
it's from the country. It's got llamas on it.
No,
Big
it's 1% polyester, dude.
Yeah,
That shit's
what?
not-
No, it's gonna
not-
shrink.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, other than the fact that I'm ready for the next Indiana Jones, how's your week been, dog? How are we?
Dude, it's been good overall. Lots of highs and lows, I think, for the norm. And the lows are just, being busy and everything. And
100%.
keeping to that. And that's not bad. It's more just like, it's summer and, you're just...
And you want to see your boo thing.
That, yeah.
You know?
And I want to be outside so bad. Like, when it's so nice out, I'm just like, oh, man, let me go outside.
Dude, the great thing about the podcast is we're going to slowly see me get darker and and darker.
And you'll see me slowly get more red and red.
You will see my skin peel and peel and peel.
Yeah, you'll see me look like a lobster. Yeah.
But yeah, man.
How about you, though? I should ask you, how's your week, man? What's going on with you?
Dude, I stay busy. It's partially ADHD, partially what did me and my mom call it? We called it something, but it was like fear of being poor. I'm just like I've picked up so many side gigs. I'm making money from so many different places, which is great, but it's not like I'm already at the young age of 23 trying to make more money and work less time.
Yeah.
And I understand that like a lot of older people in the audience will probably just be like, well, you're thinking about that too young, boy.
Yeah,
like you work 40.
Dues
yeah,
now,
you got to pay your dues. And I get that and I understand that, but at the same time, like in the world we live in, there's so many people that skip paying their dues. There's so many people that have like started from nothing and just hopped to the fact that they're just having this passive income.
Right.
And I'm trying to see if that's something, maybe not even passive income, just like working a job I don't come home and just be like, I hate everything.
Yeah, fair.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. It's important to be passionate about what you're doing. Otherwise, like, you lose a lot of motivation super fast. So, like, I totally understand where you're coming from with that. And, like, I think, fortunately enough for me, like maybe it's not like my final step of where I want to be, but overall, like, it's in the field that I like, and I'm doing a lot of things that are
it's
creative.
a start. It's a
start
stool.
for sure. So like it feels like I'm going a step in the right direction, at least like for me. And I'm not saying that's not how you feel, but
it's not how I feel.
Yeah.
But we've all talked about this enough off camera that like the podcast is my step in the right direction.
Right. Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, man. Had some turmoil recently in our friend groups and
a lot of change and everything, and just so
we figured out my cat's slowly killing you. And
I don't think that was turmoil between us.
No, not really, but it was just more of like we started to realize that like
I'm getting more and more messed up, unfortunately, with time. So yeah,
I never even realized, and I was like, oh yeah, this man is degrading over time.
So
but yeah,
that was on the topic of friendship, I gotta say, like, to you guys, like, I appreciated having that conversation.
Yeah, of course.
So, like, for context for everyone, like, been allergic to dust mites since I was a kid. So basically, like many household pets, like particularly cats and dogs, like I can have a bunch of allergic reactions to over time unless like I take a bunch of precautionary steps.
Right.
But seeming more as I've gotten older, the dogs aspect is backed off way more.
Yeah.
And like the cat aspect is.
But you've been
like
around dogs way
and that's
more.
part of
and
it
I think
too.
Growing
Like
up
I
with
grew up
that.
with dogs, and like I've been around dogs enough since I've been in college where it's still like, you know, I have some level of like tolerance built up to it over time. But like, you know, I've never lived with a cat up until like moving in with you guys, and so like this is purely a trial run.
100%.
Which for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And so
I don't want to have to get rid of him, but in all honesty, like sleeping throughout the night would be pretty chill. Sometimes.
I know, yeah, because I know you're having some.
That's
like
more
crazy.
seasonal. Like I'm outside a lot more for my job now, just because it's summer and the pollen's
out of control.
My ass,
my
dude.
season. Yeah, I think for a minute I was having both, and I think that's why I was getting destroyed.
Fucked
Yeah,
up,
I was getting
yeah.
destroyed. Because normally this time of year, like I get like, I have like a solid week of like just allergenic hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
and just
makes
like,
sense.
I mean, there's a decent amount of times too in the past couple of years where like my allergies just gotten so bad that I just end up getting sick, like fully coming out of it. But like
Which
this
we're
year,
trying to avoid,
no,
obviously.
yeah. I mean, this year I think I'm doing okay overall, so like it's not like too bad, obviously. But yeah, but no, it's to circle back to what we were talking about though. You know, the context was like skin was breaking out in hives, starting to get super itchy, and definitely could feel some congestion, like more heavy congestion stuff going on. Then approached you guys about it, and like appreciate how understanding you all were of it, and like how easy of a conversation that was.
Yeah,
and
of course.
not that I'm surprised, because we've all been good enough.
Were you worried about it at all?
I think I was, not because of anything that you guys have done, but just more because of me, like
Right.
how I feel about it. Like I think I'll always take the stance of like it's super healthy to have these conversations with my friends, but it still always like sits kind of in a place in my chest of like it does make me inherently anxious. Just
that makes sense.
Yeah, and so like.
But it's good that we have a friend group.
I preach doing it, but I'm not always the best at practicing it, which is something that I'm trying to work on, I guess, in myself. But like, so you know, I was like, okay, this is actually like definitely serious enough where like this does need to get addressed for sure.
100%.
And so no, but yeah, you guys, everyone was great about it, obviously, not surprisingly, but like but still, I mean, still appreciated a bunch though. You know what I mean? It still means a lot. So yeah.
It's always nice to have friends that respect like what you ask of them and things of that sort.
Yeah.
But it's huge. Like having those conversations are big, and it kind of goes on to the topic that we're trying to get at this week is that whole like keeping friendships, what a healthy friendship looks like, what a and what like losing friends looks like. Because we've been friends for about 3 years,
Coming up on 4. Yeah.
And so, and obviously, like, we've been through our own little things and so on and so forth.
Our stuff has been so, like, in hindsight now, like, so minor.
Yeah.
A lot of it was a lot of outside sources, I feel
100%.
Like, it was never anything, like, super interpersonal between, like, you and I, actually.
We had our one. We, like, over
we
almost
had, like,
4 years, we had our one where it was Halloween night.
Yeah.
I wouldn't shut the fuck up. All right, so I got to give context.
And I got a little heated. Oh, we don't have to go into all of it. Just kidding.
Yeah, but like this is, but it's a great example of how like we've kept our friendship. But basically, it was Halloween. We were at the bars, and Max was talking to somebody that I didn't necessarily.
This is while I was single for context.
Yeah, this is while he was single. He was talking to somebody that I didn't necessarily. I wasn't as supportive as I needed to be.
Yeah.
And so I talked a lot of shit to him and kind of like being drunk, harped on it and would not leave it alone to the point where there was an entire argument between us and Tyler getting in the middle of us and telling us that we were tripping, so on and so forth. But the funniest part about all of this was the fact that we were in fairy costumes.
That is the hilarious part of all this now.
That was that night?
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So we had a lot.
You're just ruining this night for me. That's how you guys were talking in the fucking fairy costume.
No, it was actually just.
It was actually way more ghetto.
Men yelling at each other, but yeah, no.
We were so angry, we did not realize that we were
meanwhile,
in dresses.
Meanwhile, we're also not trying to, pop ass in the back of our dresses because these barely fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like that was probably our biggest like ever argument or situation.
Yeah, which in hindsight is like out of all of our time together is like I'll take that dub.
Oh, I'll take that dub.
That was solved within 24 hours easily.
Right, because I reach out or did you reach out?
It was. I'll just be honest, mutual as hell.
I think it was.
I think we texted that night. I was like, "Hey, bro, I know this went south. We should just talk tomorrow." And you're like, "I literally was just about to text you. Let's do this."
And we met up and had a full conversation, went over it, and it honestly got off the ferry, but it got off the Halloween night, and it got more into like what we were going through personally and things and stuff. And it's like a lot of men aren't able to have friendships that you are vulnerable in. Like I have 100%. The people that are still in my life I've always been able to like share an emotion or share a vulnerability or actually say what I've been going through. But I've also had a lot of male friends that have actually like attacked me for having an emotion, bullying me for being sad, bullying me for being upset.
Right.
Like all types of those situations. And I think that's where a lot of friendships fall into that gray area of like, no, you shouldn't lose friends, but also it's not a healthy friendship. It's just like almost an acquaintanceship.
Yep. Yeah.
Where it gets into more of this situation of we hang out or like friends have like a lot of guys have a lot of like friends that are just like category friends. This is my basketball guy. This is the guy that I like mess with work. This is my pool guy. This is my bar friend. And then then you have your group where it's like
core,
like you and Tyler go everywhere with me.
I call them the Swiss Army friends, you know what I mean? There's not one thing that you wouldn't want them there for, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly, man.
So
have you seen those memes where it's just like, oh, I'm that multi-purpose friend. We can go to Dairy Queen we can go get food at 3 a.m. We can rob a bank. We can commit arson, or we can just talk. It's just like that's what we have become over the years.
Oh yeah, and I think it's funny too. I don't know how you feel about this, but I think pretty early on I realized that was our trajectory.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, into our friendship. And I think it was because you and I came into it both, like, pretty vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were super open and honest, and we had a lot of, like, really deep moments to begin with. 100%. So it was, like, I think naturally there was no way that our friendship wasn't going to come to this point.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? No matter what, honestly. I won't even say, like, without some extenuating
Well, I moved in with the other boys two months. We were wallmates in 2 months.
I don't even know if it was a full 2 months. Like, it was a
2 months-ish.
Like, give or take.
Give or take. But, like, it was literally, like, just all of a sudden I was living with you guys and everything was fun.
Can you call like a friend who's only your friend on like the condition that you go to basketball with him or that you work with him? Can you really call that a friend, or is that more or less an acquaintance? Because like I feel like I've talked to people like that before. It's just like it feels almost like a little hollow. I feel like the Swiss Army friends is just like what should baseline be a friend.
I'm torn on that because I think about that a lot, honestly. I think there's people that aren't bad people, like, that'll be in your life, but there'll also just be a level that you never, like, get to with them. And, like, that's okay, but it's also, like, you just have to acknowledge that, like, for what it is instead of, like, continuously trying to dig that hole, hoping it'll be something, but it never is. And I think the older I've gotten, the better I've been about recognizing that. Like, I was pretty, like, early on I could recognize with you, like, what it was going to be. You know what I mean? And, like, it was like, okay, this is ride or die. You know what I mean? This is my guy. And, like, Gus, obviously, we're brothers, so that's kind of a no-brainer.
No fucking choice
there. No.
Some brothers fucking hate each other.
I mean, yeah, but,
that's
like,
fair.
Like, we did make a subconscious decision of being like, no, it's my dog, like, ride or die. Like, this is my, like, family or no family, like, this will be my guy regardless.
Right,
like, and
100%.
we've had those conversations, too, like, between each other. And yeah, and then there are just those friends who it's like, I will just admit, they are category friends for me. And that's not because I don't value them. Like, I know I need someone in some of those spaces at times. You know what 100%. I mean? Like, yeah. Like, I'm totally cool with, like, I'm not saying this is it. Like, Gus, you're my gym partner, and then my other current gym partner, Josiah, is, like, now core friends of mine. You know what I mean? Like, I can do a lot of things with them. But, like, as a hypothetical, like, if Josiah was just a gym friend, like, that would be cool with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine with me. And, like, for example, like, if I had just a basketball friend, like, that'd be cool with me, too. Like,
100%.
Like, I don't need everyone in my life to be a core friend of mine. I like my, like, circle of 5 and calling that a day.
And I like to bounce off what you're going through. I've always to answer the question and bounce off what you were saying.
Yeah.
I've always categorized my friends in like 3 different categories. So my inner circle is what I call my 25 to life.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like, I know like dying for someone sounds like the most like heroic thing, but like going to prison for the rest of your life,
making like an ultimate sacrifice,
is
you like get a punishment for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I think I can't remember what song it is or a band. I heard it somewhere. It's like, or I think the Joker asks it in the first Suicide Squad. It's like, will you die for me? And Harley Quinn responds, yes. And he goes, too easy. Will you die? Or will you live for me? Yeah. Which is so much harder because obviously you die and it's over and it's move on. So my inner circle is my like 25 to life. I will gladly, if it comes down to it and they need me to, I'm serving 25 to life for them. And that's whatever. Right. My outer inner circle are like my die for friends. Yeah. Where it's like, yeah, I'm willing to put myself in a risky situation to have their back and so on and so forth. But then that third level is just a general outer circle, and it's I know you. Yeah. And like I'm trying to be a more giving person in my life, it's like the shirt off my back friend. It's like I'll give you the shirt off my back, you need a little bit of money, whatever. Like stuff that doesn't matter. Cool. Yeah. Or like not necessarily stuff that doesn't matter, but I'm like willing to give stuff, but like I don't know if I'm dying for you. Yeah. I don't know if I'm killing for you. I don't know if I'm definitely not doing 25 to life for you. Yeah, no. And there's a lot of people that I'm like highly overprotective of. Yeah. So kind of to answer your question, I would still call them friends, but just in a capacity.
Different levels.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think especially with how unique and rare the multi-purpose, the Swiss Army friends are, it's important to be grateful for them in that way because you have so many more friends that are just, we connect over the gym, we connect over pool, we connect over so on and so forth. So I think it's important to be grateful for the people that you can connect with, whatever your hobbies are, but be even more grateful for those people that you can go to a funeral with, a wedding with, or commit arson with. Yeah, if that makes sense.
I do agree. I think it's funny because I think I've been in kind of like an interesting boat over like the past like 6-ish months. Okay. Because like, well, I mean, as like people know now, like in a relationship now. Yeah. And like I did gain a couple like serious friends like over the past 6 months. Like, right. And so like, and I'm super blessed for that, and I really like value those relationships. But I think the most interesting part too about that is that I wasn't looking for that though. Yeah. In those 6 months, I think that came naturally, 100%. And I think that's where I'm mostly at right now is that I'm in this space where if it doesn't come naturally, I'm not going to gravitate towards it. Like I'm not forcing anything. And also, I feel like I'm just so committed to the people I'm currently with anyways as well. 100%. To where I feel like I overall would rather grow on those relationships than try to continuously branch out. Right. Like for the most part. So, and obviously there's exceptions to that in certain moments. Yeah. But like,
why build on anything other than a solid foundation in my
opinion? I think the thing I constantly think of is like if you have a Swiss Army friend who you can constantly go do everything with, you're not searching for much else.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it's also with that too. It's like once you have friends like that, they're the bar.
Yeah, and it's so hard,
so difficult to like really like try to bring in other people to like try to have them meet the standards. Where it's like that's why for me, I'm just like, if it comes, it comes. But if not, I've already got it. So like, who am I to complain about something that I've always wanted and already have? You know what I mean?
Personalities really have to gel to have a friendship like that.
100%. Yeah.
Aren't like. You just can't like talk about everything with them, you know.
Yeah. That's how I am with most people. You know what I mean? Like, I think even recently in my life, I've noticed that like there are people who are trying to get there with me, but I know like for myself, like I don't want to give them that.
Mm. Is that a conscious choice to not 100%? Give it?
Yeah.
So are you worried about expanding your because of what we've been through? We've lost a lot of friends over the last couple of years. Are you afraid of giving that Swiss Army friend or like even inner circle title to new people?
You know, I thought about that for a while because I was like, maybe I am closed off. Like, maybe I'm shutting some doors. Like, maybe I've just, like, become less vulnerable over time just, like, as the way to protect myself. And the more I've thought about those, I'm like, I don't even think it's that. I think I've just gotten smarter. And I think I've just gotten so much better recently at identifying who I know will just work and who it won't. So at this point, I'm just like, I know exactly who I can expend energy on, and it'll be positive, and who it won't be. Or like, even if it's just net neutral, I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever.
That's so funny because it sounds. I know a lot of people.
It sounds corny and it sounds like not real, but like,
well, it sounds like cold and calculated.
You can call that. I mean, I don't really care what you call it.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm on the same page.
I mean, people are more than welcome to say that about me. I don't really care at this point. It's like, it's not like I'm being inherently rude to this person.
Right. It's not like you're like, hey, I don't need any more friends. Go die.
Yeah. Like you can fuck off. Like I'm like, I can 100% be around new people and be very polite and be like very entertaining. But with that also being said, it's like, I know now I don't have to give myself to everyone because that's not my purpose on this plane. Yeah.
That's big. And I think that is what we kind of realized over the situations.
Yeah.
Or like over the friendships that we have had. It's more of realizing that we don't need to give everybody 150%.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good metaphors for it. But the cup. Yeah. You can't pour into everybody's cup when no one's cup is pouring into yours.
100%. I think I've done that in the past, and I remember how I felt. And I know how I feel right now at this stage of my life, and I like way more satisfied than I've been in previous years.
Good.
Like, yeah, which I'm like, I'm proud of that. And so like,
being content is happiness is cool, but it's not consistent.
100%. And it can easily be taken away.
Sadness sucks. But it's not forever.
Right.
Contentment is continuous.
Yeah, and just like an overall peace is like, yeah.
It's huge. And once you find that, it's almost impossible to get rid of.
Yeah.
And so I think no matter what we're going through, we're always trying to get back to a state of contentment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know what? Life is good. I can see the positives. I can see the negatives. But the positives outweigh the negatives, and I'm cool with that. And if nothing ever changed, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Obviously striving to get better, but
yeah,
you get what I mean.
I think the biggest part of all this, though, that I've come down to is that I recognize that in my past, I gave myself a lot to a lot of people because, like, you know, I really, to an extent, still believe this, but it's definitely been drastically changed overall. But, like, you know, I believe that everyone had potential and that maybe that I judge people too quickly, you know what I mean? But I think now at this point is like, you have a gut for a reason and those instincts are generally right.
Yeah.
Like, like, say what you want, but like, those instincts exist for a reason. They're biological. And at some point, you just got to start listening to it. Otherwise, you're going to can yourself throughout a lot of your life. And it's like, I was like, I'm rather do it now than learn this at 40, 50. Like, or some people just don't ever learn it and they're a doormat. I'm like, that's not going to be me. Like, I got too much to live for to not, like, to be like that. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, it's still a battle overall. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how that looks like for myself. And when I just got to tell people, like, you don't have this from me and, like, you won't ever get it. And that's not to be disrespectful, but that's just not how this relationship has ever gone.
Man, and y'all, well, maybe not y'all, but people have called me an asshole in the past, and that's one trait I've always been really good at.
Yeah.
Is the trusting my gut.
Yeah.
Because I've always, my whole rant, I'm not going to say my actual catchphrase, but my catchphrase was, I don't like new people.
Yeah.
If you take in my complexion, you can fill in the word that I usually
The original saying.
But and it's not that I hate everybody new, because if I really hated everybody new, I would have never liked you, I would have never liked Gus, I would have never liked my fiance, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It's obviously a hyperbole of what I really feel in the situation.
Yeah.
But I read people, I haven't been wrong yet.
Yeah.
And the day I am proved wrong, I will be humbled when it comes to my gut instinct.
Also, that person's got to be an insane manipulator.
Yeah. In all honesty, W for them because not many people have ever got past me.
Yeah.
But you always know. You always know deep down when you meet somebody.
There's always something off, and you just know it.
There's always something off. I swear.
I've ignored that so much in the past because I was like, they're people. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta give them a chance. But like at this point now, I let that run so much more.
Right.
And you guys are so right. It's so on the money. It's so dialed. Like, it just won't ever do you wrong. And every time now that I've been like, this is off, on the money. Whether I've walked into that or I've walked away from it. I've always been like, totally was right about this.
I always hear about it like a couple, like either months or years or whatever, and I hear about it later. I'm like,
I told you, no.
Still not wrong, bro.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny now, since I've started doing that, I feel like you and I agree way more on stuff.
100%.
You and I have been so locked in on this recently. Like, you'll be like, I didn't like that. And I'm like, I agree. I also, I caught the same thing. Yeah. And you and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, no, but yeah, it's so interesting. And
it's always good to have another friend that's like your gut incarnate, where it's like a physical embodiment of everything that your body already told you. Yeah. But that motherfucker's just used to saying it.
100%. Yeah.
Because I feel like,
you're just better at saying it, like, for sure. I'm trying to get better at it.
You're getting there. And there's times where I look at, like, there's times
where you can look at me sometimes and you just know. And and people will know. And they're like, oh, yeah, no. Yeah. But
with that losing friends stuff, hey, Gus, how much time do we have left?
1 minute. Or, 2 minutes, but...
Before the
2-minute warning.
Okay, gotcha. 2 minutes before the 2-minute warning.
Appreciate you.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to really get into this, but
you want to wrap it and then do it?
We'll dive into it in the next.
Yeah, let's wrap. Hey, you know what? Let us take a break. We'll come right back and we will get right into the story of something.
Yeah.
Ow!
Appreciate you.
Stay tuned. I'm in a parka, bitch.
Go. Let's get it.
Okay, video's going. 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. We're back.
Yep.
I have a story.
Run it.
Then you have a story.
Yep, we'll run it.
Okay. So last year we had someone that was in our friend group that speaking of gut instinct, this was huge because as soon as they became more a part of our inner circle, I immediately knew something was off.
Yeah.
We'll call them.
We'll just say them.
Them. Honestly, yeah, we'll call them them. We'll do them.
Because we don't want to give fake Elias's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't got
if you guys
anything.
slip, I'll censor it.
We appreciate
Say
that. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically this person was part of our friend group, and I got a very off reading from the beginning. And throughout the friend group, I voiced my opinion that I didn't like it in the beginning, but at the same time, I am not always the part. You don't start with 100% trust with me.
Yeah.
You start at 0.
Right.
And I know that pretty much everybody in our friend group's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
You start at 100% trust and you lose it. And so every time that this person was put in a situation to gain trust, it just, in all honesty, they started just going negative.
Yeah.
So there was there was a little bit manipulation of our friends Tyler and Jordan, who I'm not going to call pushovers because they're really not.
Yeah.
They're just forgiving and loving people.
Yeah.
That want.
No,
to
they're
see
just good souls. Yeah.
They're just good souls, and so that was used against them throughout this throughout this friendship, and I saw it and I drew attention to it, but we kept forgiving.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point where it was 8 to 9 months. We'll call it 9 months because I like to be dramatic. But we'll call it 9 months. A regular pregnancy that I did not want this person around. I did not like this person. I did make efforts to cut this person out, which was not fair, but I did. I did what I had to do in my personal opinion. I am sorry that I cut them out, but not necessarily for the reasons I wanted to.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. There should have been a conversation. There should have been more talking on my end. But that's my problem with my gut feeling. As soon as I get it, I'm out. Yeah. And if it's not other people that keep me in that situation, other people that not make me, but people that I want to hang out with, still choosing to hang out with them, I'm already out. And I might leave too quickly, but yet at the same time, I've never been wrong.
Yeah. I think that was a funny one for me. Because I think it was a turning point for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I think there was things that were catalysts to that before, but that was like the final thing that was like, yup, that sets in a lot of things for me now, like going forward.
What was because obviously I had the moment in the beginning, but then we had a situation where it was the last couple of months of that friendship, and it was, we planned a trip, they invited themselves, then tried to take over the trip, which wasn't great. Then they put our friend Jordan in a situation where it was severely unsafe and not okay.
Right.
Basically took her to a dude's house after the bars.
Yeah,
which is just a random dude.
Yeah.
And so it
was making sketchy moves, which was
making sketchy moves, and then it was.
Sorry, does this girl have like the survival instincts of a lemming?
Yes.
Why would you go to like?
Unfortunately, yes. We were so mad about it too because it was like a situation of just like. It's a situation of like, well, you put someone else in harm's way, but you also put yourself in harm's way.
100%.
And it was just like, we can't be moving with people that's just like have like this low of like survival,
standards,
like this low of standards, survival instincts, like everything. Because it's just like, not even because it's embarrassing, but it's just like, it's just not safe. It's just not safe.
Yeah.
I can't be worried about you like that all the time. Like, you can't be that much of a liability in my life. Like, that's not going to happen. Like,
100%.
I need to know that you're going to make the right decisions, and that, like, if something happens, it's like because you did everything to the best of your ability, and it's just what ended up happening. You know what I mean? That's life. Like, I can accept that, but like the conscious decision to make bad choices and put yourself in dangerous situations will never sit right with me. As a friend, male, female, whatever.
I don't.
That
really
won't
care.
sit with me regardless. Like, if you're putting me and other people I love in a harmful situation, like that won't.
And it was
you will lose me so fast. After
it was
that.
a lot of
like,
frustration just with like her own not self-preservation.
100%. Yeah,
she consistently wanted to walk home at night from the bars, and I am not
way too far to be doing all that.
Right.
Like,
we live in Montana. Crime rates aren't that high, but why fucking risk it?
It's still
at any
stupid.
point. Wait for us. Hang out with us for a little bit. We'll take you home. Get an Uber. Let us pay for an Uber. Mm-hmm. And it became this argument of I'm an independent woman and things of this sort. And I don't. At least, obviously, we're two dudes talking on the perspective of women. So take this with a grain of salt. But from an outside perspective, from someone of a different gender, I don't care how independent you are of a man or a female, a dangerous situation will remain a dangerous situation.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? It's unfair the way the world works in that situation.
100%.
I fully do understand that, like, women should be able to walk home by themselves, and like there shouldn't be such an immense risk of something happening.
Right, dudes should be able to walk home by themselves. They also get stabbed and robbed and shit like that.
Plenty of stories in Bozeman of people getting jumped by guys that they didn't even know. It's just like they literally just got like mugged, and so it's like, you know, it happens on both sides, but, you know, there's obviously, like, for women, it's way more of a concern than it is guys.
100%.
And rightfully so, because, like, I'll fully admit, like, I've walked home from stuff like that. But it's also, like, you know, I lived within less of a mile of that.
100%.
Like, you know, and, like, everyone knew my timing of how long it would take me to get home, and if I didn't get in within that range, that something actually happened. 100%. And, like, you know, there was a lot of things set up to where it was like, okay, yeah, like, something's wrong if, like, it's not taking this long.
And
so,
honestly, when you walked home, there was very few times that none of us ever walked or went home by ourselves I
often. Literally did it once.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was very good to be walking home by myself. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I was very in
aware, alert.
Things it was not like I was out of body in any sort of sense. Like, I was fully present. So, yeah.
So a big thing I wanted to ask you, because obviously I didn't really have a turning point where I was like, oh my gosh, I realized everything that she's been doing. Like, obviously I was a hater from the beginning, which certified D1 professional, I should get paid to do it. I'm so good. So good at hating. Like, two things I'm good at: gut instinct, hating a motherfucker. But so obviously I didn't have my turning point was meeting them. Like really like having like meeting who they really were.
Yeah.
But where do you think, or what situation really made you go, this might not be the person I want around in general?
You know, so it's funny. For kind of context of the situation too, like you guys have been dealing with this way longer than I had when I actually came out of the scene, because I was gone for that whole summer previously, and then on top of that, like I was in a relationship where I don't even care. I'm gonna tell the truth. It was super bad. It was super unhealthy.
You were forced to be away from your friends.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and it was a problem when I did go around, and like so. Yeah, I unfortunately made decisions of doing things that I didn't fully want to do, and 100%. But we're here now for a reason. Thank the Lord. God is good.
God is great.
God is great. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good.
Amen.
Hallelujah. So with that though, you know, obviously got out of that relationship, like hoping the best for everyone on every side, you know, but like needed out.
Right.
So, you know, I came back from that and I was like, okay, I really set goals for myself. I really had standards for myself going forward. And I said, I'm going to give this a shot because I knew that there was problems coming in. And I came to all of you and I said, okay, I'm going to lay it all out for how this is going to go going forward. I understand you're at your wit's end. I haven't been on the scene. Let me try my one time. If it doesn't work, I support anything that happens afterwards.
Fair.
And that was a full conversation. Like, I think you remember that conversation. I laid that out. Like, and I said, whatever you do after that, like, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but personally, I got to see this out myself.
And not gonna lie, in that statement, all I heard was, after that, you can do whatever you want. That's all I heard.
Yeah, and I meant that. Like, I truly did.
Right.
I stood by my guns on that one too.
100%.
And like, because like, I was pissed off in the end, and like, I was like, yeah, fucking let it rain. Yep. Let's go.
When Max greenlights me, it's a problem.
Yeah, no, it's like no. If I'm greenlighting you, it's like, oh yeah, no, time to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm mad.
So another story that we want to tell on the podcast too, right, Max?
Yeah.
But wrap up what you were saying.
So basically, though, like, we had that convo. I laid everything out. I made standards for the group. I wrote it down. I shared that note with everyone. I said, this is what we're doing. I said, if anyone strays from this, I'm going to talk to you. And I stuck with that, too. Like, is that the timer?
Oh, no, that's somebody's leaving the fucking house.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, word. I was like, oh, man, wow, that came up fast.
I was like, wow, 25 minutes.
We're at 13 right now.
Okay, chill.
Okay, sweet.
So, okay, back to the story. I laid it out. Yep, and I was like, okay, cool, this is what it's going to be. Everyone was in a unanimous agreement about it. Everyone understood it. We had a good check-in with everyone. It was like, okay, cool, this is what we need to do to support everyone. And then all the things that you talked about happened. And a couple other things as well. And I was like, you know, I've been there and I was supportive in those moments. But then after the stories were told by 3 people, and they all had the same story, and then you went to the other side, and it was an entirely different story. And every time she told it, it was different to each person.
Yeah.
And that happened, like, pretty much right away.
Yeah.
That was mentally when mentally I said, yup, I'm out. And then on top of that, we came to each other and I said, go for it. And I was like, I'm cool with whatever you do. I said, yep, let's go.
As soon as you green lighted and then Tyler green lighted, it was good to go.
Yeah, it was wraps from there. And that was the catalyst for me fully being like, okay, my gut instincts are cool. Like, that was cool of me to do that.
Yeah,
like, that was an honorable thing for me to do.
100%.
Like, my nobility's still intact. That's sick. But I don't need to be as noble as I have been.
Exactly.
It's like, I've proven that point enough to where people know, and if they don't know, fuck it. Like, I don't care anymore.
And that's a great situation for, like, hopefully it'll give you guys, the fans, there's no one behind the camera. But but hopefully this will give you guys, like, some context of how we've kind of worked through a toxic friend, especially with, like, all the friend group's fine, but this one toxic friend is ruining it. But we also have another situation that's happened in our lives where it's like, where we've almost been put in a situation where we have to choose.
Yeah.
More you so than me so. Because,
yeah, it's happened multiple times to me now, and it's really uncomfortable for me because but yeah.
So we had it.
Let you finish this up. My fault.
Yeah, no, you're all good. So we're in a situation where we have a friend that we've known for a while. For me, at least, it's been more of that, like, inner outer circle.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, like we're cool and all, like we hung out a lot, but like I don't know this person on a very deep level. I honestly don't even really know where they're from. Like I don't know information. Like if we had a quiz on facts, I'm failing it 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a lot closer to this person,
Yeah.
and so we've known them for a while. They started dating somebody. We rocked with both of them.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. And then the person that they were dating ended up calling things off. And very amicably. Yeah, that word. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Producer filling in.
Yeah, producer filling in for the... Can you say it more black next time so it sounds like I said it?
I don't know if I want to... Dude, I still have a year left of college.
Trying to get this man canceled. But, yeah, so... Relationship ended on decently well terms. 2-month relationship, right?
I don't know the timeline, so I'm not gonna guess on that. And like, I'll get feelings are feelings regardless.
Feelings
of
are feelings.
Like,
the timeline doesn't really matter that much. But split pretty, probably the cleanest split we have seen in this friend group.
Oh yeah,
cleanest split we've ever seen in the friend group.
Yeah.
And so we were friends with both of them because no one did anybody dirty.
Yeah.
But now one of our friends has put mostly you, because I don't give a fuck. But mostly you in a situation where you now have to choose. And it's not necessarily that you have to choose. It's the fact that most of the house is still friends with this person.
Yeah.
But the friend that we've been friends with longer is now in a situation where us hanging out with their ex is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's been downright said that now you have to make a choice.
Yeah. So I mean, for kind of crazy, it's not been like explicitly like said, but like
right.
Out of protection for all parties, like I'm not gonna get super into this overall.
100%. Yeah.
Like love
share
you
as much
all,
as you
and I understand that, but like yeah, because like I'm not trying to burn bridges to prove a point. You know what I mean?
No,
but
there's
like,
no point.
There's no reason for that.
But we try to keep it real. So.
Yeah, but for sure. So I'm just gonna kind of talk about my overall experience, which is like having been kind of put in situations like this before over previous years. And so it's happened to me with friends. It's happened to me with dating experiences as well. I'll particularly talk about like the one where it really affected like you and I. And so. And this is multiple years back now, but like, I think I've been put in these situations where like I really have these people that I care about, but I get in these stuck points of like people know I'm loyal.
Yeah.
But things go awry between personalities because that's
100%.
life. And then because I've been someone for a long time who does listen and who does like have those loyal traits, like I get brought into those situations, and I'll just be blunt, like a lot of that I've felt that a lot of that anger is then taken out on me, or a lot of that blame comes on to me, through multiple experiences now, not just like the one that you were kind of referencing, but like just a lot of experiences over a span of 3 years, I'll be honest. And my struggle with all of it is that I maintain with all my people that I love that it's like, you're not going to make me choose between people I care about.
100%.
And you're not going to make me feel bad for expressing that love that I have for other people despite your personal feelings.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a clip.
Yeah.
Julian later.
Above all, like, God gave me a purpose before everyone had an opinion of me. Like that's where I really lie. Like,
all right,
so
we're
like
in the pod. No,
yeah,
say no more. No,
yeah, no.
continue. So good, bro.
No,
That's
yeah,
so
but like,
good.
I mean, like, truly though, like, I respect how everyone feels, and I respect that like emotions are heavy. You know what I mean? Like, I get that things go awry. I get not liking people, and I get needing to take space from people because of hurt. And like, I can say that because I've been in that situation before. I think what really hurts me though in these situations is that in the moments that I've done that, I think I just noted that I needed space because logically I wasn't in a place where like I was thinking like rationally. You know, like I wasn't in this place where it's like I'm making good conscious decisions because my thoughts were so chaotic and so heavy where it was like my judgment is off entirely. And so like I just knew in those moments where it's like it's better for me to just kind of take a beat and step back and understand that people are people and that sometimes things just happen, like people split. Or people don't agree with each other, but that doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but like you can just back off and like just to protect your own peace. 100%. And that's entirely okay. My problem with what came with that, like, or where people don't do that is like when, you know, they feel that hurt, but they feed that and they find someone to take that out on. And that's not always been me, but like I've watched that with other people that I care about as well. But I'll speak for myself. Like I have had experiences where people do that. And then it's like, well, can't you like understand why I'm hurt? I'm like, yes, 100% I can understand why you're hurt.
Right.
You're not gonna tell me how to feel about somebody else though.
100%.
I'm gonna judge who I'm around.
Yeah.
Because I do have a good gut, and like I really know who I want. Like at the end of the day, like my core people, like I really know who I want.
Yeah. And
you can't fuck that up for me.
Exactly.
Like that's a rule of mine. Like in life, like relationships, friends, like anyone, like you name it. It's like you cannot at all mess with my circle in a way that would put my relationships with them in jeopardy. And at points where people get cut off from my life, like that's the one where people got cut off the most from me in my life was because they put other relationships of mine in jeopardy. Ones that I care so deeply about. Like where it's known, it's like, yeah, I'm ride or die for this person. Yeah.
So two motherfuckers have tried to break us up. And now we run a podcast.
Yeah, it's tough. Really hard. Yeah. It's like
mid.
Really hard loss. But no, so it's like I get the feelings. I respect him so much, and like I really hope everyone's well at the end of the day. And I really hope everyone gets what they need out of every situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they've got whoever they need. Don't come at me telling me that I'm wrong for who I am. For shit that I'm primarily not even involved in.
100%.
Like, don't make me a middleman to something I was barely around for. Or just happen to be in the same vicinity of. Because that's what ends up happening. Is I'm in the vicinity and then it's like, well, why didn't you do all this? Why didn't you do all this? Because I'm not your savior.
Yeah.
Like, who do you think I am? Just because I'm logical doesn't mean I'm going to, like, just crash out for the sake of doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And there's a difference between, like, protecting your people versus, like, just being illogical.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And it's like, this is not even referring to any particular moment. Like, I'm just speaking from my life. Like, with friends, it's like, yeah, like, you can't, like, don't put me in this situation.
Nah.
And then particularly, don't put me in a space where you're going to be like, well, I'm not telling you to choose. But then every action of yours is like, you need to choose. That's where I'm at. Like, that's what drives me up a wall the most. Is like,
right.
Don't get all mad at me for all this stuff. No, and like, the biggest of it all is like, don't ask me to do things that I know you wouldn't do yourself.
Type shit.
Like,
not even that you know wouldn't do yourself.
They haven't.
You haven't done it.
Like, you haven't done it. Like, I've been in the same situation. You just haven't done it. Like keep it like, you want to keep it a buck? You should have done it like you should have been doing that from the jump. Like, yeah. So it's like, I don't particularly know what you want from me in this situation, but it's like, well, I get that. No, it's not that they want anything. It's just, it's coming from a place of hurt.
And I get it.
And unfortunately, I think people think I'm an easy punching bag.
See,
for some reason unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
Because he got a good heart, bro. I'm not gonna show
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, but it's also like, I mean, let's keep it real. Like, I've cut off a decent amount of people, not like vindictively, but like because of this reason. So like, I don't get why people like continuously go, oh, I can test that. Like, you've watched it. You've been a part of the process of me going, yep, that happened. This is gone.
I swear that's why I say it's like it's easier to live with asshole on your sleeve than your heart.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I've always done. I'm obviously like this is not recommended.
Right.
In my personal opinion, I'd rather be closer to you than closer to me.
Right.
But this is just who I am. Because, motherfucker, you make me choose, I choose not you.
That's exactly the boat I've been on the entire time.
And I'm a terrible person.
No,
I don't
because
care.
the other side's not asking me to do that. Why would I choose you?
If
You better have some fucking dirt on me.
Dude, if
you
someone
do that,
tried to-
like,
yeah.
fuck, like, I better be going to jail if I don't follow this one. Like,
I'm petty enough, fuck it, I'll go to jail.
yeah, honestly. Yeah.
If you're not
Yeah,
going to
no.
put me in a situation, I'm a grown-ass motherfucker.
What's that future quote? Like, those screenshots don't scare me. I know what I said and I'll say it again.
Yes!
Yeah, I'll stand on that. Yeah,
I stand
run
on
that.
But
We got to wrap, y'all. So,
any final words?
love your friends, love your people, but also be conscious of yourself and protect yourself at the same time.
I like that.
Yeah. It's okay to follow your instincts. It's okay to listen to your gut because it's generally right. And it's okay to walk away from things that don't serve you.
It's okay to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's okay
and
to be
sometimes
the
things serve you for years and then all of a sudden they don't. And that's okay. Not everything is permanent. Sometimes people are there for seasons. Sometimes people are there for years. And sometimes people are there for life.
Amen.
All right with my dogs for life. This is episode 10. This is about friends and how to navigate relationships with friends. But yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you. And like, subscribe, comment. Whatever you guys say it with your chest. We appreciate it. And keep running it up. Love or hate. We like it.
I prefer hate. It gives me something to do.
Come on.
Good shit, guys. Good shit.
Let's go.